In this age of constant reboots and franchise extensions, it can be easy to feel cynical when another spin-off is announced. Sometimes, however, a project will come along that is so vibrant, fun, and creative, any prior misgivings will melt away entirely. Such is the case with Netflix's new series XO Kitty, an offshoot of the successful To All the Boys I've Loved Before franchise. Created by To All the Boys author Jenny Han, the new show brings Laura Jean Cubby's matchmaking sister into the spotlight for her own adventure. On the surface, XO Kitty appears to be a straightforward tale of rom-com sweetness, but in reality, it's packed with enough twists to surpass any expectations. Here is everything you need to know about the ending of XO Kitty Season 1. Despite Dae's attempts to reconcile with Kitty at the end, Kitty said that she needed to move on. She didn't regret coming to Seoul or falling in love with him, but she wanted to try new things. Kitty had broken a scholarship requirement and had been kicked out of her college. Even Dae lost his dorm room and scholarship after Florian defeated him in the championship match. In the final scene, Kitty discovers that Minho has gotten on her trip to Los Angeles. The biggest surprise came when Minho admitted to Kitty that he was in love with her. He wanted to meet his mother, who lives in the US. Kitty was unable to respond because she was speechless. She even took an 11-hour flight with him, but after hearing what she had heard, she started thinking. However, prior to that, after giving her finals, Kitty was fairly certain that she had failed the exam. Q made an effort to comfort her, as he advised her to remain upbeat about the outcomes. Kitty was upset since she had disturbed Da and was even ignored by Yuri. She learned about Florian and the lying angel from Keat. Kitty was astonished and started to judge Florian right away. Even Q and Kitty got into a fight as a result of it. The following morning, Gina and Yuri caught up after Gina said she had many regrets and wished to make amends. She even spoke with Juliana's parents since she wanted to spend more time with Alex. Yuri was pleased to hear that Juliana was coming home. The exam results were shortly made public, and Florian came in first place, beating Da even though she had cheated. Knowing this, Q became enraged. Kitty then verified her score and learned she had passed. The hostel staff became aware that Kitty had been spending her nights in the male dormitories. When Gina learned of this, she immediately kicked Kitty out. Kitty, the main character of XO, had broken the terms of her scholarship and was now forced to take a flight back to Los Angeles. Kitty returned home discouraged and started preparing for her flight. She then finished her farewell meal in the cafeteria and felt compelled to make an impromptu speech to leave a lasting impression. Kitty stood on a table, but her speech was anticlimactic and a complete flop. After saying their goodbyes, Alex invited her to come downstairs. Then Kitty said goodbye to Q and Minho. She regrettably received no preferential treatment from her housemates. Then Gina and Kitty experienced an emotional exchange. Kitty was compared to her mother even by the principal. Then Gina sent Kitty a letter from Eve, and in return, Kitty gave her the cassette she had. Dae lost his scholarship and spot in the dorm because he placed second in the exam. Dae received Kitty's necklace as a farewell gift. Dae acted like a hero by racing to the airport to grab Kitty before she took out for America. Finally, the pair got back together. Unfortunately, Kitty stated that it was time to move on since she required new life experiences. The relationship ended there, and then, after kissing, they parted ways. Kitty unexpectedly ran into Yuri at the airport, but when she went to tell her she loved her, she discovered that she was there to meet Juliana. Kitty reads Eve's letter when they are in the air. The same thing happened to her mother as Kitty did. She makes reference to Simon, a student who Kitty believes to have been Eve's first love. Kitty turns to look at Minho seated next to her as the series comes to a close. He's going to visit his mother in Los Angeles. Minho acknowledges his love for Kitty. She is taken aback to hear this and is unsure of how to react. She now has a lengthy flight to think about this realization.